Hello, welcome to Chill Phil Gaming. It's a gaming channel that we're using to help kind of calm down, to relax a little bit. And we do that by playing Universe Sandbox, at least right now. I am a noob at this. I have a lot to learn. If you want to give me tips, please leave them in the comments. I need those tips. I don't really know what I'm doing, and I know there's a lot of people out there. There's a big fan base around Universe Sandbox, and I'm just scratching the surface. So if this is interesting to you, subscribe, hit the bell, hit like on that, and so that you can hopefully see more videos coming at you in the future. We're gonna hop right into it here. We're gonna get whisked away to space. So let's get into it. I'm opening some simulations here. I have been sick for a week and a half, and all I want to do right now is collide things. So it's been a rough week, and I need to kind of let go of some tension in my life. And I think this is how we're going to do it. So what we're going to do is go into the collisions. We're going to bring up some simulations, and we're just going to see how things interact with each other. Planets seem to interact with each other a little differently, and we're going to kind of make some comparisons. And so first one here, let's do this. Earth and Pluto collision. We're going to try to see what happens when Earth and Pluto collide. All right, so let's open that up. And here we go, we're slowing it down. And we are about to see what happens. Here we go. And as we're slow-mo, Pluto collides into Earth. This beautiful explosion happens. These particles come out, a lot of particles, and it sends a ripple around Earth. As you can see, let's zoom in here. I mean, this is a big old tsunami happening right now, all through Earth, thanks to Pluto's collision. And oh, these people are sleeping. It's nighttime. They have no idea what's about to come, and they're probably gonna lose power. As you can see, some of the fragments are falling back onto Earth, I guess. Oh, here we go. What's happening here? Yeah, sorry, you guys are losing power. You might be losing some life, and just Earth is kind of experiencing some havoc here. Okay, so it's interesting. This was full of water, and these fragments are falling back onto Earth and displacing the water, and we're seeing some of that dry ground again. And then the water comes back over. We're gonna speed up a little bit. Earth looks very different right now. Let's look at the impact. Yeah, so right here, we're seeing Earth looks a little warm right here. Okay, we're gonna look at some of the properties here. Yeah, look at this temperature, 511 degrees Celsius. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, and it's heating up. Okay, and we're seeing some gas coming out. We should avoid that. Pluto hitting Earth, you know, that would be a bad thing. But it's a very pretty sight. All right, so that's what happens when Pluto hits Earth. Let's look at some other options here. Earth and Mars. Well, it's gonna be similar. Mars is bigger than Pluto. Yeah, let's see what happens here. We're opening a new simulation. We're gonna slow this down quite a bit right before Mars gets to Earth, and boom. Okay, very similar looking explosion here. And it is being enveloped. It is becoming one with Earth. And yeah, sorry Africa, sorry everyone. Okay, let's go back over here. And you're plunged into darkness. And you could see the shock waves kind of coming through. This time, the whole Earth has heated up quite rapidly. And it's not really just one side. Let's see the comparison here. Okay, yeah, so instead of 511 degrees Celsius, we are at 2,400 and climbing quickly. Became very Venus-like. It's very bright and hot. There's a lot of combustion happening. As you can see, some of these fragments are falling back into Earth. Ooh, what's happening here? Was that impact? Is that where we impacted? There's a lot happening there. Oh, wow. That's pretty. Don't want to touch that. Don't touch that. Okay, I think we could safely say we also don't want Mars to hit Earth, but we're seeing this is much bigger explosion here compared to the last one. Let's speed it up. We're gonna see what happens. Okay, and as we're speeding up to 15 minutes a second, we can see a lot more movement of this gas. Oh, things kind of going out and back in a lot quicker. And I like to kind of just focus in on kind of the slow fluid movements of the gas and smoke. Maybe catching some of the particles, some of the fragments. Look at this one coming back in. Boom. And I try to think of it like my breath a little bit. Try to, in a way, and I might have to slow it down a little bit, but breathe along with it. Like we have a lot of things floating inside of us. Don't be too grossed out about it, but the reality is there's a lot happening inside of our bodies, a lot of combustion. And sometimes it comes up in different ways and comes out in different ways. But we are also full of a lot of things happening in our bodies due to things colliding and expanding and releasing. And it's amazing to me sometimes that we hold it together. We keep our form. Like I said, I was sick this week, and man, there was a lot happening that was out of my control in my body. A lot. And it was awful. But I knew if I just waited it out, things would kind of come back down into order. Things would begin to become a little more solid again, a little more predictable. And the truth is that as we speed up time here, things do become a little more solid, see? A little more predictable. We're going at 9 hours a second now, almost 10 hours a second. And now things look a little more stable. They may not be. It's still pretty hot, but we are cooling off a little bit. Temperature is coming down. Yeah. Here we go, we're hitting pause. And 18 days after our encounter with Mars, this is what Earth looks like. Let's move on to another collision. Here we go. Neptune and Earth collision. Okay, it's gonna be quite a bit different now. Neptune is the bigger of the two. It is an ice planet. And let's see what happens. We're gonna open this up and we're gonna try to slow it down a little bit. Pretty quickly here. Okay. And Earth, I don't know how you got out here in the deep part of the solar system, but here you are running into Neptune here. And that was a big mistake because all of life is now gone. We are becoming one with Neptune. Oh, that looks pretty cool. It almost looks like a sun or a Saturn here, this spot here. And if you look at it compared to Neptune, it seems like a smaller explosion. But if you think about before what we were comparing it to, for perspective, it's the Earth, so it's actually bigger. And as we move forward, we shall see Neptune. Ooh, it's warming up, right? So Neptune is an icy planet, but now look, we're getting hotter. It's like we stopped around 554, now we're cooling back down. But that looks like Jupiter, really. That's nice. Going from the heat to the cold and back to the heat. Ooh, I like those shadows. I like the shading there. That's nice. Sometimes we get a little overwhelmed by life, and I don't know about you, but sometimes I need to bring in some grounding techniques. Grounding techniques bring us back to our senses. And a way to do that, one of the grounding techniques is really focusing on the temperature of something. And so maybe a good grounding technique would be to run your hands under warm water and just focus in on what that feels like. And sometimes when I see something like this where it looks warm, something looks warm, I can imagine some warm sensation somewhere, maybe on my hands. And sometimes going back and forth between hot and cold can feel nice and keep us grounded. Isn't this kind of beautiful? While we see this picture of Neptune, the cold and then the hot and the cold and the hot, and then the bright orange gases behind it, it kind of lets me kind of relax and think about how it might feel to go back and forth between hot and cold, hot and cold. The warmth, the soothingness of hot water, and then the cool refreshing of ice cold water on a hot day. It's amazing that both heat and cold can feel good in the right conditions. And it can be both soothing and relaxing and grounding when we need it the most. Something as simple as temperature can really calm our senses when we're feeling overwhelmed. And lately, I've been feeling overwhelmed. There's also hot where it doesn't feel good. Like when I had my fever and I was sick. And my son was sick and he had a fever. But then I took a nice cold wash rag, soaked it in some water, and put it on his forehead. And then he fell to sleep. And that was a good moment where we combined heat and cold and found a calm moment. It's kind of mesmerizing, isn't it? I'm going to do this just for a little bit longer while the calm music plays. What season are you in right now in wherever you're located in the world? Are you in winter? I'm in winter here. And so what sort of things do you do to stay warm when you're cold? Take a bath or turn on a heated blanket. It's one of the best Christmas gifts we got this year was a heated blanket for our bed. And our second floor of our house gets real cold during the winter, and so to climb into a heated blanket feels so good. Maybe you're in the summer. What do you do to keep cool during the summer? Turn on a sprinkler, fill up an inflatable pool, put it at the end of your slide maybe, and refreshing. Maybe you go to a local pool. Maybe you go to the river. Maybe you get in just real quick. Or maybe you take your time in there. Whatever you do, it's good to slow down. It's really good to slow down. And I hope that you guys found some time to slow down with me this evening. Thank you for joining me for another video. This is kind of just what we do. It's relaxing, it's interesting, it's visually pleasing, and we take it slow. And I hope you like this. It's a bit of a test right now. It's a bit of an experiment, and I need some feedback. So leave it in the comments. Let me know what you liked about this, what you didn't like about this. I have tough skin. I can take it. So please let me know. Subscribe for more. Let's go. Let's do more videos, and let's build a little bit of a kind of a relaxing, chill community. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope you have a good one. Keep it chill. Bye.